So I want to again bring your attention to the chat, bring your attention to the Q&A. We're here to support, we're here to serve you. Specifically, guys, I do have a question to get us started in the chat. And now I'm going to ask a question that can be personal and maybe even provide some arguments in the chat. But I have a question for you because here in Texas, we have strong opinions on our grocery stores. We love HEB. I want to ask everybody just to make sure the chat's working. Let's get started. Could you throw in, do you guys have a favorite grocery store? I know people have strong opinions about it. Throw in your chat. I'm gonna jump in there. I think it's turned on. This could be a good test as well, just to make sure. Publix is a good one. Jamie, are you from the southeast area?
Yeah,
Yep.
I live in
Okay.
Atlanta.
Okay. My wife's from Atlanta as well. I love a good pub sub.
Oh yeah, it's the
It's
best.
it's hard to
Don't
beat.
don't mess with public sheet cake. That's
Is that right?
sacred item. Yeah.
Okay. Trader Joe's is a classic.
Oh yeah,
I'm good to see that the chat is working. Trader Joe's got the snacks on lock.
yeah.
Um, that's for sure. Okay, we have a couple more minutes just before we get started here. Again, we are talking about budgeting with contract data. We have a special guest who's going to share some about how they use Concord at their organization. But again, we're going to get started here in a few minutes. Sprouts. Sprouts is a good one. Sprouts is, this person says, 1.5 hours away from them, but it's worth it to go to. They have some good quality items at Sprouts. Again, what we're talking about, if you're just joining us in the chat, we're talking about favorite grocery stores. But really, the reason we're doing that is because the chat is available to you. Please jump in there with your questions if you have them for me or our guest speaker, or if you just have questions at the end. You know, what I like to do is we talk about our budgeting with contract data here in this. But at the end, we usually have some extra time, and I'm a customer success manager. I'm here to support you and serve you guys. So please, it's there for you. Ask the budgeting questions first. I'll save the non-budgeting ones for the end, but we're here to support you. So we're going to get started now. Again, the last time I'll say this, we're talking about budgeting with contract data. And so really what we're talking about, here's our agenda. We're going to talk about our agreement intelligence, right? It's what we do at Concord, what we're starting to do to really give you value out of your Concord account. Agreement intelligence is intentionally named agreement intelligence with that AI, right? That is intentional. There are a couple like slight differences between like agreement intelligence and the AI that we've been talking about, but we will give a live AI demo from one of our special guests, Jamie Garfield at Pay. And then we're going to talking about then Benji, our customer success man, or our head of customer success, excuse me, will talk about how to budget with extracted AI data. And so let's talk about this agreement intelligence. If you haven't gotten this concept from us, right? If you haven't heard it from me, there's a lot of data that's within your contracts that is locked up in there, right? There is information in all of those words that's in there, right? There are so many services out there that do electronic signatures. There are services out there that you can store information in, right? But what Concord is trying to focus on right now is how do you get information from your contract, right? So agreement intelligence starts after the signature, right? You can sign contracts in Concord, you can store them in Concord, but what we want to do is after you import your Word or PDF, or after a contract is signed, we want to start pulling that data so that you can maybe track deadlines, or even as we're going to talk about today on the far right here, construct budgets. And so the whole concept of this is where you're capturing more value from every contract, right? You're starting to learn things and get information from your contracts. And so now let's talk about our specific tool that we've created called agreement intelligence, or AI, right? The idea here is that it's going to extract key information from your contracts, not only automatically, but consistently across the board, right? Currently, what we're doing, we're pulling parties, we're pulling a summary, and we're pulling lifecycle details with even more improvements coming down the road. We're automatically populating that third data for you. And we'll also help you collect analytics from your signed agreements, guys. This AI is available on our new plans only, but it's already adding value, and it's only going to keep getting better. All of our roadmap, all of the things that we're building and growing and making better, everything points to AI. Everything is going to be adding more value from AI. And so what we're going to do, I'm going to hand it off to Jamie Garfield at Pay. But before I do, I actually want to post in the chat real quick. A link to their LinkedIn. I really recommend you guys check them out. Guys, what Pay is doing, right? They're payment processing for online merchants. And so Jamie is the head of sales and marketing at Pay, and she's going to give a quick demonstration about how they are using Concord. Jamie, would you mind
Sure, thank
taking
you.
over? Yeah.
Yeah, let me go ahead and share here. One moment.
Yeah.
Can you see my screen or no?
Not yet. Is it allowing you to do it?
I'm clicking it, but
Says you're the host now, so it should be.
Yeah, I just made her the host.
okay.
Great.
So let's see.
And if it doesn't work, we can always, even a visual description is helpful, and I can even give a demo as well if that is necessary.
Can you see it now?
Unfortunately not.
It says I'm sharing on my screen. Hold on, let's go back.
Oh, yeah, no worries.
Share.
And honestly, guys, this is giving you more time to check out their LinkedIn even. Check them out. Follow them on LinkedIn. Engage with them. Again, they're payment processing for online merchants, and we're thankful they've been a great partner with us, meeting with us. I think this may be Pay's third webinar, second webinar for sure. I know that I've been on. We really appreciate it. Oh, we see it. Jamie, you
Something.
nailed it. Yep,
All right,
you nailed
let's
it.
see.
You're there.
Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, yes, we can.
Awesome. It was a permissions thing. I
No
apologize.
worries. No worries.
Okay, so the way that my team utilizes Concord, which has really been a game changer for me as a leader, as I've been managing my team. Obviously, not just the AI, but just overall, we're very happy with Concord. But the way that we use it is typically for me, if I'm about to get on a call with one of my team and, helping them close the sale, or once the sale is closed, if they're trying to renegotiate or they have questions about things, I always want to go in and I want to look at their agreement. So I click on that. I click on store and track. And then I can just easily add a document. I'm going to add this demo document that we have here. And go here. It's going to upload my document. And then you'll see over to the right, the little purple circle. That means it's pulling in the data. And then a panel will open up on the right to show me all the data that's been pulled from that agreement. And again, it's just very helpful so that I don't have to sit and pour through several pages of an agreement. It's going to pull out the key pieces of information that I want to know so that my conversations with my client are easier and I know what I'm dealing with when I go into the conversation. So it's still thinking.
Right.
And then I'm going to click on here and get my document summary. So like he stated earlier, the information that it pulls out for me, the parties of the agreement, a really nice description of what the agreement was about. So I can see who's on the agreement. It tells me, was it a licensing agreement, or maybe I'm looking at it and maybe it's an NDA or whatever it is. It tells me maybe they have for me, they could be a reseller, they could be a merchant. It varies. So it tells me what type of agreement and what the agreement was that they signed. And then it's going to show me the life cycle. It's going to show me when they signed. It's going to show me the duration of the contract and when it's up for renewal. And these are very good pieces of information to know whenever you go into a conversation. If the contract is about to be renewed, we can have those conversations with the client then. We encourage our sales, our AEs to obviously to renew all their contracts. We get an update from Concord as well that tells us when the renewal dates are coming up and a lot of different information like that. So that's what we use it for. I use it before any conversation. I try to go look up the agreement. I encourage my team to go do the same thing. It pulls out a nice summary for us so we don't spend a lot of time having to pour through the agreement. I know there's some other properties and key terms. I don't know if that's part of your second release. But I mean, just the first release has been very beneficial to us. But as you add more, I think it's going to be great because we'll be able to see, what the pricing was, what other key elements that you want to know. Did they agree to this many terms? We have a lot of specifics that are in all of our contracts that sometimes I want to see. Did they sign up for white label? Did they sign up for customization? Like different things I want to know. It'll pull it out here. I believe that's the way the key terms is going to work. We'll be able to customize that. So I really love having that ability, and it's very helpful with our client conversations.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And this is specifically right from your specific role as like the head of the sales, right? And so just to underline, I think what you're saying, right, is that the people in part of your team, they're uploading these and allowing you to like review it, right? And keep accountability not only for your team, but for your customers and the people that you do business with, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Love
And
it.
when I'm meeting with my team, I go and can pull their contracts and see which ones they have coming up for renewal. So when we do our one-on-ones or when we do our pipeline reviews, I can say, I went and checked these contracts. You've got these coming up for renewal. It's just a very good tool for me to have to keep up with what we're doing and what we have on the horizon. And like, I'm sure that Benji's going to speak about for
Mhm.
budgeting purposes. I can see what's getting ready to close, what has closed, what needs to be renewed, all that. It's very easy to pull out.
Yes, yes. You teed it up perfectly, actually, and just like you're saying, like we've built something now that we love, and it's only going to start getting better. So thank you so much for
Sure.
sharing that, sharing all the
Yeah.
information about how you guys use it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, Benji, what do you got for us?
See if it'll let me share my screen. We there? I think we are.
Yes, we are.
We're good. Okay. Great. So let's talk about budgeting. Now, first and foremost, Concord itself is not a budgeting tool. Obviously, there's a lot that goes into your corporate budget, both from a team level and an overall organizational level. That doesn't even touch Concord. But one thing that Concord can help inform is how your commitments affect or impact your budget. Earlier this webinar, we were talking about different grocery stores. Trader Joe's was mentioned. I have a budget for my groceries, but then when I look at my actual commitments, as in the $350 I spend at Trader Joe's, that then impacts my budget and makes me go back and need to rethink my budget as how we performed against it with our commitments in the form of Brazilian cheese bites, which is what we spend a lot of our money on there. Similar thing happens here, right? So we set a budget as an organization, we set a budget as a team, and then we end up signing contracts with vendors, or we make financial commitments both in and out of our organization through agreements, through documents, through contracts, and all of that information lives in Concord. So one tool that you can use, our AI is going to really help drive that information, that post-signature data that lives within your contracts to tell you this is what lives in your agreements. So with that, you'll be able to extract your data automatically, either on a cadence or manually through whatever kind of filters or reporting that you build within Concord. Our best practice that we recommend and that we do ourselves is to export that data to Excel so that you can map what's live in Concord, what's been committed to, against whatever kind of budgeting tool or whatever kind of budgeting document that you're using, whether it's an Excel sheet, a Google sheet, or a specific tool leveraged for budgeting. You can mark your annual spend in contracts today. That is a manual piece of metadata that you would need to enter on your contracts. However, this quarter, we are going to be automatically extracting financial terms, financial commitments, and clauses through our AI feature. So those will be, as soon as you load a contract into Concord, we'll be able to tell you the commitment that's it lives within that contract, and you'll be able to compare your contract spend versus your actual spend. Basically, here's what we have budgeted, but this is what we've actually committed to through our vendors. So that's an overview, right? This is more directional. This is not like where Concord's not coming out with a budgeting tool, but the beauty of Concord, one of the ways that you can leverage Concord is, there's a lot of really important information in your contracts that isn't just when does this renew, right? There's a lot of very important contract information in your contracts that isn't just who are we working with. You can use that information. You can use that metadata that lives within those contracts to then roll back into your overall financial picture as an organization. So that's the quick pitch on leveraging Concord data to inform your budget. If you are ready to start budgeting smarter with AI. A lot of people on this call I know are on an older plan type that does not include our AI feature. There's also some other features that that are included in our new plan types that are not on some older ones. If you want to talk to your CSM about business problems that you're trying to solve through artificial intelligence or agreement intelligence, or just want to know what else Concord has to offer, please talk to your CSM and we will happily have a conversation about what makes sense for you. I know we are only 15 minutes in, so any questions in the chat about anything we covered today? And then I'll kind of pass my hand for anything we didn't cover today. Okay, I see. Not a question. Something that Blake posted, a link, meet with Concord. Good call. That is a link for booking time with your CSM. Thank you, Blake.
You got it.
When will a demo be available for the budgeting piece, meaning using AI to capture financial terms? Blake, when do we Q3 is when we have it targeted, but I don't have a specific date for it.
Correct. Yeah, we don't have a specific date for it. I will make sure to let you directly know, Poster, when we have that for you. So, but we don't have a scheduled plan for the financial demo. That's a great question, and you better know. Oh, yeah, actually, I have a live chat. Actually, personally, I do have an update. Late September is the goal for that to be released. Actually, so that's when you can expect, and that's when we can start showing it to you. And you better believe that we're gonna send it to you to let you know, because I know that a lot of you guys are excited about it and waiting for it.
And actually, that's a great point about no, that is not demoable today. Part of the reason why we wanted to have this webinar with you guys ahead of where the product is just to let you guys start thinking about how to leverage contract data for other decisions within the organization, and so that you guys know what we're building towards, which is I know important. You want to know if we're skating towards the hockey puck. What else do we have? Okay, I'll pass my hand across. Any general Concord questions? Any questions of any kind at all while you've got Blake and I here? And I guess any questions for Jamie, although I didn't anticipate much of that will come up. Anything at all? Okay. Well, then I think everybody gets a little bit of time back. Hopefully this is helpful in terms of ideating and thinking through how to leverage contract data for your budget. We appreciate your time. We are here every Thursday, and we will see you next week. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.